record on this computer. Okay, here we are. Okay, folks, so yeah, there is a first topic. I think this is from Pranav,
Yeah,
right? About integration
yeah,
of
right.
test.
Okay,
Go ahead.
we want to run the test on the Kubernetes and the non-KEDS, right? So for the user, the only difference would be he would have to handle the basic KEDS metadata for the test for Kubernetes, right? Apart from that, is there any difference?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I was not able to get something about metadata, but what part?
Right. Okay. So in IG KEDS and IG non-KEDS, the tests are almost identical, right? The only difference I could find was in IG KEDS, we were handling the event dot basic KEDS metadata because that would get enriched in case of Kubernetes, right? So apart from that, would the users have to modify the test?
Good question. So let me check this. So we already have this test for the open
Integration.
gadget. Okay, yeah, actually I wanted
Integration.
to show from this one. Okay, let me also show the other one. So this one is not running on Kubernetes. So yeah, this one is not checking anything related to Kubernetes. This is only checking on the runtime, right? And if we go to the integration ones, probably Kubernetes, right? Let me also try to look for the trace open one. Okay, so I think you are asking if we should have, it should be, what is that? So yeah, I'm not able to find this here, but yeah, I don't know if we should implement like a general logic where you create like the common part of the event. So if you are running on local containers, then there is not going to be anything related to Kubernetes. So that part is not generated. And if you are running on Kubernetes, then the Kubernetes part should be generated. So one option is to implement this logic similar to this on each of the gadgets, on each of the test file of the gadgets. But I think we could be able to provide like a general helper function that creates the like this base event, and then in the options we can say with whatever we are using. So the idea is to use this environmental variable to understand if the test should be running on Kubernetes or in local containers. And I think based on that, there could be a helper that generates the base event with the correct information. So yeah, other than that, I will say that the test should be the same. I mean, this same test should be able to run either on IG, on Kubernetes, on local containers, or in kubectl gadget. The logic should be the same in all cases. For instance, right now, this one, we have these runtimes. So yeah, we will need to understand how to avoid passing things that are specific for containers in this, or better for IG, because in the case of kubectl gadget, I don't think that we have a runtimes parameter. So somehow we need to pass this only when IG is being used.
Right.
Is that
Okay.
clear?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jose, you wanted to mention something because I saw that you did modification to this file a week ago, something like that.
Yeah, the way to distinguish either we have to add that runtime or those specific things for IG will be the same that you have in the other tab. It is this thing that e switch the test component, switch the default test component in line 33. that switch will be the one that will allow to do to add the flags that are specific for IG or the flags that are specific for QCTL.
Yeah,
And we
I
expect to
totally
do the
agree with
same
that.
there.
My comment is that maybe we don't want to have this logic on each of the
Okay.
test, but there could be like a helper that has that logic, and then from each of the test, we just call the helper, and the helper
Okay.
internally is able to check this environmental variable, and according to that is able to provide this. And for instance, I was also thinking about this normalized common data. Probably this helper should be also be aware of the environment where this is running, and according to that, you could be able to normalize the data in one way or the other. So my goal with this is that the structure of the test should be almost the same in all the cases, and all that specific logic to different environments should be in different helpers. So we don't have to duplicate all those conditionals on each of the tests.
Okay, makes sense. The only one that I'm not sure how to do is the things I added last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember the ID of the container. How to retrieve that information in Kubernetes? Good question.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have the answer.
I have no idea. I have no idea at this point. I will say,
The
Pranav,
digest and these kind of things.
how is this done currently? This test
The digest
container,
is because this okay. You have that
test container.
interface that you can call your ID.
Okay, so the suggestion that I was giving Pranav this morning is that there could be like a new factory for Kubernetes. So this is a container factory that supports, where is that? Where is the container runtime? The runtime is here. So, okay, here we are. So it supports Docker and Containerd so far. So we could be extending that to also support Kubernetes. And yeah, I will say, if we implement this interface there, then there should be a way to ask this information to Kubernetes. I'm not sure if we are able to
Yeah.
get all the information there, but otherwise, if there is some information that we are not able to get from Kubernetes, then we could have some logic here in normalize to escape that one. But I will say that by implementing that interface, we should be able to get almost all the information that we need.
Sure, makes sense. And
Okay.
having that interface that you mentioned, that factory.
Okay, good. Any other questions regarding this topic?
No.
Okay, good. So let's go to the next one. Borak about, yeah, this is nice. Flaky CI and a lot of issues that we are having
No,
there.
it's not nice. Like you said, it's
I
not
wouldn't
nice.
say nice, but okay.
Yeah, so I would just wanted to give a summary about the last 2 or 3 weeks that I looked at it. So there are currently some issues with the elixir.bootlen site, and
Yeah,
that just fails our documentation step or job.
I
It's
was thinking
flaky.
for that
Yeah.
one, why not to use GitHub in all the links that we have? Yep, I was checking and we have like more instances of the GitHub link than the Elixir. So I think we can switch all the Elixir instances to GitHub and it should be more reliable in that sense.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the bootlen site is really nice to jump around. Yeah, so then there were many issues with the tests run trace out of memory kill. That was just a quick issue where we didn't sleep enough before starting the tracer. In the built-in gadget, we had a sleep because we knew of this issue, but when copy pasting it, we forgot it. With the image-based gadget out of memory kill, we also need to download the gadget, so that adds even more latency. So I just put a sleep in there, and it seemed to solve it. Then we have some tests where not all events are getting enriched. I think that is mostly the test trace network. And apart from that, many failures for image-based gadgets. There are some failures while pulling. The error is not found. We just also took a quick look at it, and yeah, I don't know how it comes. Is the image there or not? It should be there. I did a quick pull after that, and locally it helped. Then there are sometimes that no events are captured. I don't know if this is again a timing issue or something else. Yeah, and it's not only not found. I also see sometimes that it has problems while decoding in the same step. So it's weird.
But
Yeah, and then
is it why it is fetching from the main? It was run in the main. That
it
example
was run
was
in the main,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, it was some
But
errors. Okay.
also I got the issues in my PR once, or at least twice.
Yeah, I'm wondering, do we have any retry logic in the implementation of that? Maybe we are missing something in this OCI library that we implemented to retry pulling the gadget if there is like a temporal error. Because I mean, we are running VisiBox and a lot of containers, and I have never seen a similar issue with those ones. And I don't think this is being an issue of the GitHub container registry, probably. So maybe we should try to retry there. Not sure, but yeah, that's the only suggestion that I have.
Yeah, I don't also know how we could solve that.
Yeah, I also was, when I checked it just before we actually do that step, we actually ensure the image. So if we ensure the image, and if we weren't able to pull it from the GitHub container registry, then it would have errored out there. So it's really weird. It's really not in the store locally, so I'm pretty confused. Because it's like we first ensure the image and then we do this getting the list of manifests. So I could not understand why would this happen. A retry would help.
Are we ensuring that we pulled it or it is
Yes.
locally there?
Let me share
Okay.
the code.
It should ensure that the whole image is available locally. That's the logic.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what I understood. The code is doing.
And then it's even more weird, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was also expecting. The ensure is the one failing, not the getting image lists. Probably this error comes from the ensure. Yeah, but otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's somehow some test cleans up the OCI store, but I think that's not probably happening, right? Because we're running too many tests. If some of the test cleans up, not that as well, right?
I don't think we are doing that. Not sure.
Okay.
I will have to check. But yeah, that's a good question. We can't clean the OCI source because we are going to mess up with all other tests running on parallel. Okay, yeah. I think this is good to document those failures. Maybe we could open some issues for them and then we can continue investigating them. Yeah. Burak, do you have any more comments about this? I think this is great what we are doing. This is very nice to identify the most common failures. So we have at least where to start fixing them.
Yeah, maybe just the last comment. The last point, they are failing to kill the gadget. We also have that quite a few times. Maybe someone has a quick idea why that could be the case.
Probably the IG already closed. It's already closed. That's why it fails, killing it. This is for IG. No, keeps it here. Keeps it here run. Yeah, keeps it here.
But if I understand this correctly, this is showing the error when the gadget is being started, right? Or
Yeah, this kind of error I also saw with other runs, so it may be not directly correlated to this failed
okay, yeah,
kill
I
issue.
see. Okay, I see. So the issue is here. Failed to kill. Yeah, I have no idea about this one. Okay, folks, any more comments about this? Okay, so yeah, I will move to the next one because we have like a bunch of topics to discuss. So yeah, let me go very quickly to this. So I'm trying to fix some issues that we have around this skip info logic. So yeah, all of this started because somebody opened an issue saying, hey, I am trying this gadget completion command, and this is not working if I have no Inspektor Gadget deployed to the cluster. And then they also say that I think the same was happening to the version command. So I started investigating those issues, and I found out that there were some, I don't know, some things that they were not working where when you don't have, I mean, there are a lot of combinations. Maybe you have the cluster available, but IGC is not running. Maybe you have kubectl pointing to a cluster that doesn't exist anymore, or maybe you don't have any kubectl at all. So a lot of different cases, corner cases to handle. So I tried to fix as many as them possible in this PR, but I'm not sure this is totally right yet. So Bora has been reviewing that one. And yeah, each time we review that, we find a new issue there. So yeah, I just want to ask if somebody else also wants to review this one. Review is mainly running different commands, different conditions, and check that everything is working fine. I say that I wanted to stop this, but yeah, by next week. But actually next week we have the release, so I would like to have this release, this merge before the release, so we are able to have those fixes there. And yeah, probably if you try that out, you are going to find corner cases that are not working. So please comment them out. Maybe I can try to fix them, or if those are difficult, we call document as one fix. Okay, folks, and any comments on that one? Okay, and yeah, the other one that I wanted to quickly talk about is that I have been playing with the Golan API that we have for the new Golan API that we have for the image-based gadgets. So I have been implementing different examples of how to use that. For instance, to run a simple gadget, to run a gadget with some enrichment and filtering bank containers, to use some of the operators that we have. Yeah, a lot of stuff that we can do with this new API. So it will be great if you can play with that, and also if you think there are some mixing examples, we can add them, or we can at least document what is missing, and later on we can work on them. So in my opinion, this PR is ready to be reviewed. There are not all examples right now, but I think this is a good starting point. So the idea here is to merge them, and then I will start pinging people that are using the old packages for the built-in gadgets to try this new approach and to see if this works for them, and if there is any, if they are facing any limitation or any issue with that, so we are able to face that. Okay, next topic is from Maya.
Oh yeah, I was just wondering if anyone had a chance to look at Amit's question in the Slack channel about some inconsistencies in CComp profile advised gadget and some questions around system calls potentially. He asked a while ago, so I just wanted to see if this was something anyone wanted to look into.
Yeah, I haven't had the time to check it out. If there are no any other volunteers, I could try to reply by today or tomorrow. I see that this is about trace loop, setcom profile. Yeah, seems that it's related to all of them. Yeah, I could give it a try. But if there is any other volunteer, please go ahead and reply. Thank Maya for the reminder about that one. Okay, Kazim.
Yeah, so I was just in my head brainstorming about this configuration file, and I had some thoughts, so I thought I might talk to the team. So the idea is that like we have different forms of Inspector Gadget. Like there is one IG Gadget CTL, and then the pod itself. Does anyone any preference on how should we structure the configuration file for all three of them? Like having one shared way, or it should be one file for each, or it's more like one file that has sections? Does anyone has thoughts on it?
Sorry, I missed the part. Do you mean that we have three binaries? So there should be a different file for each of the binaries, right?
Yes, yes. Is that something how we envision it, or there should be one configuration file that works for all of them? And for example, some of the flags, they don't make sense for IG, but they do for Gadget CTL. So they would just be ignored. Is that okay? Or if we should have like different file for each of the
I
binaries?
will say that there could be two different files, one from the server, one for the client. So right now we have like IG and IG in Kubernetes. Those are different binaries, but yeah, somewhere I open an issue, and I think we should be merging those two binaries together. And probably the same is going to happen for Gadget CTL and kubectl Gadget. I think those are very similar, and I don't really see a strong reason to have different binaries. So right now I will be for having two different files, one for the server and one for the client. Does it make sense to you? Do you think that's implementable in that way?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it should be. I'll have to check more deeper, but I'm just thinking right now in current context if it would make sense. But I take it and think about it. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, great. Also, go ahead, Maya.
Oh, you go.
I was going to say that, yeah, if there is any flag that doesn't make sense for any of the binaries, maybe we could play with having like a warning saying you are running this configuration file with this binary, but that option is not meaningful for this one. I think something like that could work.
Yeah, I agree with that, because if people have some configuration running IG, they can use the same file for kubectl and for the server for kubectl and they don't need to keep those two files. Just the one that doesn't make sense will be a warning saying it doesn't make sense for this, but they can use the same file.
Yeah, I was just gonna say as few files that we can have probably is the right approach, but also maybe it's worth also running by Door because he expressed some interest in this at our when he came to present. So that could be a good idea too.
Okay, thank you, Maya. Yeah, it could make sense to ping him on this one as well. Okay, folks. So I think we are almost out of time. I don't know, folks, if you still want to keep going and discuss these other two topics, or if we should be moving then to the next instance. Either way is fine for me, as you prefer.
It's fine for me to skip it. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, sorry. Yeah, for the second one, since if we want to remove it, that will be good to say something in the release note before as a warning for the next release is going to be removed. So since the release is in a few days, I was wondering if we should also something about that or not. Or we can push it back to next time when it's not urgent.
Okay, yeah, I have no any comments there. How can we deprecate that? Adding a warning, something like that?
Yes, we could add a warning in the next release in the release note to say we are going to remove that next month, and then just remove it next month.
No, that's fine for me. If you want to submit a PRV with a warning or something like that, I could review that very quickly today, tomorrow, and then we can have that in the next release.
No. How about we put that also in the entry point? If we log warning, if someone is using it.
Yeah, that's what I meant by a warning.
Okay.
Something that prints a warning to the user, not only the message on the release notes.
Got it.
Okay, we still have this topic about deprecation of built-in gadgets. Maya, do you think we can move this on to the next one? Because it
Yeah,
seems
next
like
time.
a
Yeah, it's not,
long and difficult discussion.
yeah.
Okay, so thank you. So yeah, let's move that to the next one. Okay, folks, so we are a little bit over time. I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming and see you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Bye, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.